Hello, my loves. Welcome or welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome to the family. I'm honored to have you here. If you're returning, welcome back. I have missed you. Today we are back in that Christmas swing of things, and today's reading is all about a gift from your guides. Now, collectively, we're working with the Kriya as well as the Dicomio. There aren't any individual symbols for the piles because the guides wanted you guys to know that this is a collective energy. Each pile signifies a portion of the collective that is receiving a certain gift from your guides, whether that's clarity, whether it's peace, whether it is prosperity, whatever it is, it's going to show within the cards what it is that your guides are bringing to you as a gift. Now, what I'm hearing to let you guys know is that please use this reading as confirmation. These are going to be gifts that you have already felt coming into your energy field. You may not see them in your physical world quite yet, but you should have already identified and felt these gifts. If you pick a pile and you're like, this does not sound like anything going on in my life, please feel free to choose another pile. If you go through all the piles and you're just not jiving with this reading, this may not be the time for you to receive messages from your guides on this one. That doesn't happen very often, but I have noticed it happening in my life. So I did want to mention it. Now, instead of doing Reiki healing, we're still going to do the Reiki healing. It's channeling through, so you can choose to accept it if you want. But instead of doing Reiki symbols on each pile, I have these mindfulness dice. And each one of these are going to be for one of the piles. And because I never show you guys my process for how I allow the symbols or the runes that I work with to choose the piles, I'm going to show you with the dice. So we're going to go with pile 1. Which dice would it like in the message, please? Okay. Pile 1, we have show gratitude. Pile 2. Okay. Pile 2, we have sleep well. I love that because I actually saw it as I picked up the die. And I was like, I bet that's for one of the piles because I could feel that energy. I love that. All right. And then pile 3. Whoa. Cultivate courage. I'm sorry, guys. Courage is a recurring theme on my channel. And then what is the message for pile 4? Okay. Self-reflect. Okay, guys. So with all that being said, I do want to mention what Dicomio and Kriya mean together. When we combine these together, we are combining our inner authority with manifestation in the outer world in a form of mastery. We have learned how to share our light, how to move into our light, and now we are anchoring that down into our physical form. We are learning how to master it, but we're also bringing in manifestations. There is a mastery of manifestations from a higher energy, a higher perception, and a higher awareness that is coming through really strongly collectively for all the healing work that we have all collectively done. And even though I say all the healing work we have all collectively done, this is literally about the healing work that you have done. You specifically. It is not about the work that I have done that has changed your life or the work that we've all done jointly. It's about the piece of the puzzle that you are, how it has impacted the collective and how it has elevated you into a level of mastery over your life, over being grounded, over your manifestations, over helping heal humanity, because Kriya talks about healing humanity, how we have learned a level of mastery. And now moving forward, our guides want to give gifts for this journey that we've been on. One thing is I'm reading this book called Let Your Spirit Guide Speak. And it's this wonderful, amazing book. And she talks about realizing that your guides are not, they're not these beings that don't have feeling. They still experience emotions. They want to do everything that they can to help us, but they don't have any ill wishes against us. They don't have any, like, they would never lead us astray. And sometimes we get caught up and we forget that our guides care about us. So when we lash out at them, they get hurt. When we don't listen to them, they feel shunned. They feel ignored. So a lot of the times when we sit and we say things like, nobody sees me, nobody hears me, what do I need to do? Why isn't this whatever? In a lot of ways, our guides are saying the same thing. And for this reading especially, I feel like your guides are just really overjoyed at you tapping into them, you trusting them, you following them. Even if you don't realize all the time that you're actually following your guidance, they know that you are. And so as we move forward, I'm not going to do too much more with this intro. I will be channeling Reiki throughout the entirety of the reading as per usual. So if you choose to accept it, please, make sure that you ground afterwards, drink a lot of water to help get that Reiki energy through. And without further ado, I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of meditation music. Get in touch with your guides, allow them to show you which pile is the right one for you. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and more than anything, trust your guides and allow yourself to be led. So I will see you guys at your piles. Hello, pile one. If you chose the show gratitude, this is your message about what gift your guides are bringing to you. With show gratitude, you also have the card 38 with new blueprints. Now, 38 reduces to 11, and this is about mastery. And if you skip the intro, this is all about mastery. It's about mastery of your healing, mastery of who you are, of anchoring down into your purpose, into your being, of a mastery of manifestation, a mastery of bringing into your life different parts of you. This is all about what you have mastered. Now, what I'm getting here is that you have really learned how to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. And that is something that's really, really beautiful. I think that along this journey of life, we can really, we overcomplicate what it's like to have gratitude. Like, we think that we have to go down the list every single day. And while that is helpful, especially when you're in, say, a depression or in the dark night of the soul, waking up in the morning and making a list of, I am grateful I got out of bed. I am grateful I am breathing. I am grateful that the sun is still rising. Even if it's not shining that day, it still rises, it still sets, it's still a new day. Cultivating that kind of gratitude when you are in the midst of going through real, true darkness, internally, externally, whatever it is, that is incredibly important. But showing gratitude on a daily basis, it's something that's actually like, it becomes a second nature thing. For instance, my guides are actually like showing me something that we started doing in my family in order to cultivate gratitude on a regular basis. So we have family dinners, and we don't do it every night during the week because, we all have varying schedules and whatever, but we try to sit down and have family dinner at least 2 to 3 times a week. When we do this, we do what's called highs, lows, and gratitude. So we go around the table and everyone says what their high for the day is, or what their best part of the day is, what their low for the day is, what was the hardest part of their day, what brought them down. And then we complete it with something that we are grateful for. The more that we have been doing this, the more that we cultivate an attitude of gratitude within our lives. We think about the things in our life that bring us joy, that bring us peace. As you, pile one, have shown gratitude for a variety of different things, and what I'm getting more than anything is the parts of your life that have hurt the most. As you have cultivated gratitude, genuine from the heart gratitude, it's like you have reawoken within this life in a very new way, with this new blueprints, and the focus being right here on the throat chakra, this butterfly on the throat chakra, and all these wavelengths coming out. It's as you show gratitude, as you speak gratitude into existence, as you are grateful for the people who have hurt you, for the things that have hurt you, for the moments in which you've hurt yourself in any way, shape, or form. And this is not about self-harm. This is more about speaking negatively about yourself. This is all about your throat and how you communicate. As you have shown gratitude for those moments of really defeating yourself, or being in connections that aren't right, being in friendships that aren't right, coming into a state of listening to your guides, hearing them, following their guidance, and being very, very grateful, you have learned to master this healing path that you're on and bringing things into your life that you would want. You've learned to be inspired and live inspirationally for yourself, but also for others. You've learned to become more inspired surrounding your wishes, surrounding building yourself up. And your guides are so proud of you. So to start with, the very first gift that I'm picking up from you, because it feels kind of like this is multi-layered. It may be all the same gift, because overall, it's kind of this new blueprints is your gift. This is a new chance. It's kind of like if you took a step back right now, as much gratitude as you've cultivated, if you took a step back and you looked at the entirety of your life right now, is everything going to plan? Is everything exactly how you would want it to be? What tweaks would you want to make? Your guides are saying, for all the gratitude that you've given to others, given to this path, given to this journey, given to this life, and given to us, we want you to make a wish. Make a wish for something new. Make a wish for some new inspiration, some new encouragement within your life. Make a wish for some new blueprint for the future. Whether it's simply changing something about where you're at right now so that it shifts you into a new state. I think about my thumbnails. I just recently changed the look of my thumbnails, and I was really, really hesitant to do it. My guides were like, no, you should do this. No, you should do this. And they really had to get on me for about 2 weeks straight, because I'm very stubborn. I'm very fixed, and I'm very stuck in my ways. It takes me time to process ideas of change, especially when things are going really well for my channel. I don't want to run. It's that do I want to change something that isn't broken necessarily? But my guides were like, no, it'll bring in a fresh energy. And as soon as I changed these thumbnails, I got this massive level of new inspiration and new awareness and new ways of doing things. And it felt like a new blueprint for my channel. But my channel didn't change. It's just little factors of it changed, and it ushered in a new energy. This is kind of what they're asking you to think about. They want also to show gratitude to you. That's part of the gift. They want you to know that they are very grateful for what you have done and the journey that you have been on and how diligent and dedicated you have been to this journey and to cultivating a relationship with them. So they want you to really think about, it's like I'm getting this wish upon a star energy. Like really think about, in your heart of hearts, if you could change something about your life, what would you change for the better? What would you wish for? So let's get a little bit more of an idea. We're going to start with the empowering questions. And you know, the funny thing is out of all of the oracle cards and the tarot cards that I have out to possibly use or to use for this reading, the empowering questions came in today. And your guides were all like, no, we want these. And I was like, but this is not about like, this doesn't make sense to me. I was like, not for the structure of the reading. And they said, no, it's important. These are going to be very important. So take the time with these questions. I'm not going to divine them a lot, depending on what comes through when I flip them. But your guides want you to think about these questions as you're formulating these new blueprints, this wish. They want you to think about these questions because they are meant to empower you. So we have, what kinds of recurring situations or people do I attract? What kinds of lessons might they have about myself? Okay. And then we have, how or in what way do I experience myself when I'm alone? This is interesting. I'm going to kick in just a little bit here. This to me is very interesting because it's asking you about the difference between when you are centered and grounded and within yourself, when you're alone, when you're not around anybody else but you and your guides, versus when you are interacting with the outside world. So they want you to think about the difference between you and other people and how you formulate your wishes, how you are focusing on either yourself or other people or both. They want you to really kind of get to the nitty-gritty details internally, because when you allow yourself to ask these questions and to be really honest with yourself, you're going to see something new emerging within yourself about exactly how you want something tweaked within your life. I love that. That's really beautiful. All right, let's take a look at the Celtic goddesses. So we have one with Dana and the goddess of empowerment. Look at this. This is all about empowering yourself. This is about standing in your power, being like, okay, I've cultivated gratitude. I've cultivated a relationship with myself. I have cultivated a relationship with my guides. And I really do see the value of all of these recurring situations, all of these lessons, all of these hard moments, these dark nights of the soul that I've been plunged into. I see the value of them. I see the beauty of them. I see how they have unlocked certain parts of myself, my path, my purpose, who I am and what I'm here to do. I see all of that. And now I'm choosing to empower myself and say, this is what I want moving forward. And I am deeply grateful for this because my guides, I know, will deliver because I trust them intrinsically. That's a really beautiful message. Wow. Okay. And then we have card number 11 with Modron. I think I'm saying that right. And it's the goddess of motherhood. Okay. With this one, and I love how the coloring on each side really matches because this is about these higher chakras, you know, the crown, the third eye, the throat chakra. And then we're getting into the heart and the solar plexus and that energy of heart-centered empowerment. It's taking this wisdom and empowering yourself. With Modron, this could be about you being a mother. And that's very, very specific, but it could be about how you have remothered or reparented yourself. It could be about how you have this connection with your parentage and with children. This is a multitude of different ways, but as a blessing, we've got literally 1, and then 38, which reduces to an 11. And then we have 11. This is really, really, really emphasizing, hyper emphasizing, starting again, new beginnings. For those of you who are mothers, this is hyper emphasizing how you can empower yourself, be an empowered mother, and realize that being an empowered mother means that you are teaching your children to be empowered. And this, for those of you who are gender identified as males, this could be about how you nurture your divine feminine energy, how you feel empowered rather than emasculated by embracing your divine feminine energy within and moving forward from there. It's absolutely beautiful. So let's find out your fortune oracle. Yes, 32 with transformation. Reach out for the power and strength to make changes, enrich your life, and become the person you want to be. Okay, so more than anything, this is about you guys really making a wish for your life and realizing that you've gone through this deep, powerful transformation. And because you've done that, you are now able to enrich your life with these changes. You see the patterns, you see the behaviors, you see all of that. And your guides, for a gift for you, want you to know that they are really grateful for you, for what you've done, and they are ready to help you shift into this new beginning. And with any new beginning, there comes a transformation and a change that has to be made. And it doesn't feel like it's this overwhelming change. This actually feels it's very gentle. You guys have this very gentle shift coming in. And I love this new blueprints just keeps pulling me in. It's like I'm going to speaking new life into existence. And it's going to be something that is really, really loving and nurturing for me. It's going to be something where it's like utter clarity moving forward, utter peace moving forward. So is there any other messages from your guides? Yeah, we've got the High Priestess. You know, it's so funny. I didn't mention it, but I was literally picking up the High Priestess energy with Donna here. I know you could say it's Dana, but I always think that she's like the goddess of the two-a-day. And so that's just what I think of. But this is about you really, really harnessing that wisdom within you, that knowledge, that awareness, that your gifts, your psychic abilities, and saying, you know, I understand that there is wisdom in everything in the world and wisdom in the things that we can and cannot see. I harness this in order to transform my life, to see what hasn't been seen before, and to see myself in a new way, see myself in a new life, in a new light. Your guides are giving you this blessing of clarity. Yeah, clarity, peace, healing, nurturing. We've got the Four of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Strength card, and then overall we have the Star. All right. So what I'm seeing here with these is that one of the biggest gifts here is this overcoming sadness. It's the clarity of you having cultivated this gratitude has given you clarity in the moments in which you have felt the most desolate, the most defeated, the most beat down. You've gained this sense of clarity and peace. And because of that, the strength that you have grown, the strength that you've come into to really see all sides of everything that you have experienced, to allow yourself to be empowered in the moments in which you have felt the most defeated, the most upset, the saddest. I mean, this speaks to me about a mother wound that you have healed. It is giving you an opportunity to make a true wish because you have enlightened yourself. You have come into a state of understanding your own light and understanding your own power, understanding what you have gone through and what it has meant for your growth, for your healing. And your guides want you to know that moving forward, you get to choose how this path is going to go now. It's not going to feel as though everything is out of control and spiraling out, as though you don't have any idea what's going on and you are just like a pawn in some great chess game, it's not going to feel that way anymore. It's going to feel like every moment of your life is inspirational, that you find inspiration from yourself, that you encourage yourself, that your guides encourage you. It's going to feel like a completely new world to you. All you have to do, all they're asking of you is just to make a wish. And I feel like for a lot of you, you've already made a wish, and this is just your confirmation, which is something I did say in the intro that your guides were saying, is use this as a confirmation of what you have felt coming in. There is a new beginning. And it's not a new beginning the way that we think of like the calendar year ending. No, this is a new beginning in the sense of like, some of you may be Capricorns, so you may have a birthday during Capricorn season, whether that is in the new year or whether it is at the end of December. Some of you may be Aquarius or Pisces. This energy that I'm picking up really strongly for you guys is about this new start being like a new solar year for you, in which your dreams, your wishes, your heart's desires are made manifest, because you have healed so many of the old things from that old blueprint, from that old way of being. It's like you've completely reframed and restructured your life. And you've done this in a state of awareness of what you're worthy of, what you are here to do, and what your purpose is. And your purpose being nothing more or less than you being you. This is about you realizing now as you move forward that your guides are saying our biggest gift for you is that we are so grateful for everything that you've done, that we are giving you your wish of a new beginning. What new beginning it is going to be dependent on what wish you make or made. All right, pile one, this is all I am seeing and hearing for you guys. This is absolutely beautiful. I am really, really inspired and awed by you guys. It takes a lot to come to this place. It takes a lot to heal these wounds. It takes a lot to learn how to be by yourself and learn how to cultivate healthy relationships. It takes a lot to do what you've been doing. And I am really, really inspired by you guys. So thank you so much. Thank you also to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connections between our energies and bringing forth these messages. I want to say thank you so much to Spirit for the inspiration, as always, the messages, the awareness, and the love that flows through during these messages. Thank you. Pile one, if this resonated, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. Down in the description box, you're going to find links to my second channel, Rising Sign Messages, as well as links to donate to my channel, book a personal reading, and to my author page on Amazon. So don't forget to check those out. I did want to remind you guys, I've been mentioning this in a lot of my readings. I am doing a collaboration this Friday, the 23rd, with Odessa Mall and Damselflies. And if you like and comment on all 3 videos, you'll be entered into a free 15-minute reading drawing with me. If you subscribe to all 3 channels, if you haven't already, you will get a double entry. So make sure you guys check that out. Let me know in the comment section below as well how this resonated. I'd love to interact with you guys and hear back from you. And I just want to say thank you one more time. You guys are absolutely incredible. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing you. And keep shining, because you are very, very impressive. All right, pile one. Thank you again. I will see you all at my next reading. Bye. Hello, pile two. If you chose the sleep well, this is your message about a gift from your guides. All right, so I got to tell you guys, I needed to take some time to sit with this energy. So we're working collectively with a kind of mastery of healing humanity, healing ourselves, and allowing that healing that we've done for ourselves to spread into humanity. But also a mastery of manifestation and bringing things into being. anchoring the truth of who we are, allowing our outside world to begin to be reflected as the truth of our inside world finally, letting go of all of the illusions. And for you especially, pile two, your guides are literally like, go to sleep. Like, it's almost as though you haven't had a restful night's sleep for a while. And your guides are giving you the gift of rest. They're giving you the gift of being able to sleep well. I used to struggle really, really horribly with insomnia. I had horrible insomnia. I would wake up repeatedly during the night. I would either have trouble falling asleep or trouble staying asleep. And I got into a habit of trying to put crystals under my pillow or under my bed to see if that would help, because I had heard that, certain crystals can help with that. And no matter what I tried, it didn't help until the day that I asked my guides for help. I have made it a habit to lay my head down and to talk to my guides and say, I want to say thank you so much for your help, your presence, for what you do here for me, and how you help me to help the collective. I really, really need sleep. Can you please help me get restful sleep? And it never fails that when I do that, they always come through for me. They always come through, and I wake up rested and I wake up refreshed. And I got to tell you guys, with the card that you got, 13 Air with paradigm shift, I talk about paradigm shifts in my life all the time. Every time someone that I care about, that I love deeply, passes away, I call it a paradigm shift in my reality, because I can feel energetically the difference between them being here in the physical form and then transitioning into the spiritual. And it shifts the foundation, the makeup of the world that I live in. It may not shift it for everyone else, but it shifts it for me because of how connected I am from the heart to other people. So I go through these paradigm shifts all the time. When I went to bed last night, I was super tired. I had filmed most of the day yesterday. I had filmed the day before. So I was really like, okay, I'm really ready for sleep. I didn't feel overworked or overwhelmed or anything like that. I just was very pleasantly worn out. And so I asked my guides to help me sleep well. I laid my head down and I woke up at 8 o'clock the next morning, and I never sleep until 8 o'clock. I am usually like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I am up and going. I slept until 8 o'clock in the morning. It was so profoundly restful. And it was like I opened my eyes and the whole world was different. Everything in my world was different. I was different. I had this utter paradigm shift today before I did this reading. And I'm telling you guys, I did not know what the cards were. And you guys, if you skip the intro, go back and watch. Like, seriously, go back and watch, because I shuffled these, or I went through these die and had them select the piles themselves. Like, you couldn't have made it up if I tried, but it just fell together so perfectly that I was able to have this like clear-cut correlation right in this moment. What your guides are gifting you with today is this awareness that you have the ability to get help with sleep without having to use any kind of like sleeping medicines or anything like that. Your guides are right there, ready and willing to help you. But they want you to be aware that you can go to sleep and wake up the next day and have everything feel better. You can literally have an entire paradigm shift within your mentality, your energy, and the ways in which you perceive yourself and the world, and the ways in which you communicate with the world overnight through going to sleep and sleeping well. Sometimes we underestimate the power of a good night's sleep. I know I am absolutely 100% one of those people that I don't ever fully acknowledge how powerful sleeping can be, how healing, how restful, how clearing, how uplifting just getting a good night's sleep can be. We can all go through these moments in which we go to sleep and we're in one energy and we wake up and it's a completely different energy. Sometimes it's on the exact opposite spectrum as what I'm experiencing today. Sometimes, and that's when we say like someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. What your guides want you to know, this gift is that there is something awakening within you and you don't have to do the work for this one. They're going to shift your paradigm for you. You're going to go to sleep and you're going to wake up and it's going to be like a whole new world has just like burst into being all around you. And it might seem a little off kilter for a bit, but the reason this is happening is because you have grown in awareness in such a beautiful way that it's time for your paradigm to shift. And you've done so much work. You've mastered so much of yourself that your guides just want you to take a break, to take some rest, and to let them do the legwork on this one. They have the ability to really shift this for you, really change this for you, really, really utterly revolutionize your life if you surrender to it. And that's what they want to gift you with, is this change, this whole new way of being in the world, this new fulfillment within the world and your life. So they want you to ask yourself some questions before you go to bed. You can do this either tonight or whatever night feels right to you. But these empowering questions are meant to kind of help get you into the state of what needs to be shifted for them to be able to shift. So they want you to work collaboratively with them. Ask yourself these questions. You can journal them if you want, or you can just simply ask them and either talk aloud or go over it in your mind and be open and receptive to whatever comes in from their guidance. And then ask for you to get some restful sleep as you sleep on these questions, as you sleep on this thought process, so that they can help initiate a paradigm shift for you. We have, what is the worst that could happen if I let go of things that no longer serve me? I love that. I always love what's the worst that could happen questions, because when we ask ourselves, what is the worst thing that could possibly happen? Usually we don't have an answer that is as bad as what we have built it up in our mind. And when we challenge that concept, our mind will try and find something, but it's kind of like the wheels just kind of spin with nothing coming out. It's really kind of a beautiful thing. That is one of the ways that we can have paradigm shifts, is asking ourselves something that is actually going to trip our mind up rather than get it going. It's funny. Your guides are funny. And then, what am I thankful for today? Oh, that's beautiful, because if you trip yourself up this way and then you go immediately into what you're thankful for, now you're cultivating gratitude, and you do that right before you sleep. You are actually cultivating a positive shift in mentality and perception before you lay your head down, before you close your eyes, before sleep takes you. And that's when they have the easiest time shifting you into that positivity, because you are actually putting your mind into that positive state prior. So before I finish pulling these, I got to go and let my pups in because they're cold and it's winter. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back, and I do have the dogs in the house now. So you guys hear wrestling or, like the Chewbacca sound, don't be alarmed. It's just Jade and Willow doing their Jade and Willow thing. So let's get some messages from the Celtic goddess about this gift. So we have 34 with Dindrain and the goddess of generosity. Oh, I love the coloring on that card. I love that golden color of wheat. It may be because I grew up in North Dakota. And so in North Dakota, it's like we have wheat fields everywhere. And so to me, that's very homey, very natural. But I love that golden color of it. And then we have 41 with Tarine and goddess of difficulties. Oh, I love this. So your guides are letting you know that there is a very I'm hearing buckets full of generosity to help pull you out of difficult moments. And I love the fact that I went and let my dogs in, and even Willow is like sitting right next to me. Like, Mom, I'm here. Mom, love me. And we have a dog here about Goddess of Difficulties. You know, I was having a really hard time a couple months back, and I was not planning on getting a dog. Like, of course, I've always wanted certain dogs. Like, I've always wanted a corgi. I've always wanted a German Shepherd, and I've always wanted a husky. And I used to have a miniature dachshund, and I love mini dachshunds. But I was not planning on getting a dog. And then suddenly it was like, my guides were like, no, you should go and look. You should just look. And so I did. I looked at the local advertisements, and about 4 blocks away from my house, there was a house that had puppies for sale. And I saw a picture of Willow, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's my dog. I didn't know how I knew. I just knew. And I talked to David about it, and we were like, no, we don't need another dog. Like, we weren't planning on another dog. And then suddenly I was just like, okay, I got to put my foot down. So I looked at him and I go, you're not going to like this, but I have to have this dog. Like, I just do. And he was like, I kind of figured this was coming. So he didn't really fight me on it. And she has been amazing. And the funny thing is the 3 primary dog breeds that I have always wanted are all contained within her. My 4 favorite dog breeds are her blend. My guides, where I would look for each individual dog and then be like, oh my gosh, I can't have this many dogs. That's way too many. Like, I can't have 3 separate dogs that are just my dog. Like, it's way too many dogs, you know? And my guides were like, well, give us some time. And I was like, okay, you know, and I kind of put it out of my mind. And they literally brought me the exact dog that I would want. The exact dog. All of my favorite breeds in one dog. She's amazing. She is exactly the dog that I want. And she is like one of my best friends. And I was in such a difficult part of my journey. And I remember those first couple of weeks when we got her, she was too young to leave her mom. And I did not want her to go to another person. And my heart was attached to her immediately. Like, she is part of my soul family, undoubtedly. But my guides, they knew it was what I needed. 100% knew it was what I needed. It was, again, one of those moments that caused an utter paradigm shift. I slept so much better after I got her because she slept in bed with me. Mm-hmm. And all of the difficulties that I had been feeling and experiencing just kind of fell away. And she helped heal pieces of me that I didn't even realize needed to be healed. And it was simply through the generosity of her love that this happened. And your guides are letting you know that maybe for some of you, this is telling you this story because there's hey, be kind. Be kind. A dog in your future. Sorry. Willow is trying to jump up and like bite at my hand. Be kind. Thank you. I don't tell her no. I tell her be kind. That's my good girl. It's Mama's good girl. Oh, he's gotta go to itchy, scratchy. Yeah. Whether you guys are a dog person or not, your guides want to give you the gift of a paradigm shift that takes you out of the realm of difficulties, that helps you see the love and the generosity that they have, that they are ready and willing and eager to bring into your life, so that you start believing more in this. So let's see this final fortune oracle. I knew it. We have the card 17 with love. Love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. This is not necessarily about romantic love either. Yeah. Are you sure? See, Willow wants you guys to know that love comes in many forms. Love comes in the form of a puppy. Love comes in the form of your guides for you and you for your guides. Love comes in the form of you for yourself. Love comes in the form of friends and family. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, I am back. I apologize for all the chaos. If you guys know, if you're not new to my channel and you've been here for a while, you know this is kind of how it goes, especially when I'm filming, you know, either when everybody is gone, like the kids are at school and David's at work, or even on the weekends, you know, the pups are just the way that they are. But what I heard was that your guides want to show you love in all its many facets, in all its many forms. They want to give you a paradigm shift surrounding the area of love in your life. And it's helping you learn to love life even more. What? Did you have something you wanted to say to pile 2? Yeah. I'm not going to make the cat jump down because you try and eat her head. Come here. Come in. They want you to learn how to love life again, pile 2. And we can forget that when things get really heavy. That's why they want you to allow for a paradigm shift to occur, because it's meant to take you out of the realm of difficulties and remember how giving and kind and generous love and the state of love and the energy of love and the connections in love actually are. They want you to open your heart more to love. So let's get your tarot cards here and get just some final messages for you. All right, can we get final messages for pile 2? Final messages. All right, we have the Queen of Pentacles. All right, Queen of Pentacles. This is, to me, your guides want you to realize, you know, your own wealth. Ace of Pentacles. This makes a lot of sense. The Lovers. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm not going to take all of these cards, but the Lovers. Can we get 2 more? What gift? What do the guides want? Okay, we've got the Moon. 1 more, please. You? Okay. 4 of Swords. Yes, 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 yes. 6 of Cups. Okay. Again, it's learning how to love life again. Learning how to see the absolute, it's like the fertility, the ability to be in your truest grounded essence. It's taking you out of your mind and back into your body, back into this experience of interacting with other people, back into this essence of remembering what it's like to look at yourself in the mirror and to love every part of yourself, to move through this life without being too hard on yourself. It's with the Moon, usually with the Moon, the messages tend to be about illusions, but this is more about your guides allowing you to, or wanting to bring in the gift of this awareness of your own divinity, your own prosperity, your own regality, your own fertility, your own creativity, to get you out of this energy of feeling like life is so difficult, and seeing how the seeds that you've planted have really, really been of the utmost healing for your life. The choices that you've made to embrace both your light and your dark aspects are what you have needed. And they want to help bring in this shift in your awareness through learning your proper sleep cycles. And more than anything, they want to help you learn. Like, this is one of the most practical energies I've picked up because they want to help you learn your natural cycles so that you trust the decisions and the judgments and the guidance that you get. So you trust yourself, you trust your guides, and you are one with your shadow so that your shadow does not take control, so that you know when to move and when to rest. You actually get into this state of trusting yourself 100% and knowing exactly when to just take a step back. With the moon and the Four of Swords, what I get is like the cycles of the moon. And with Sleep Well, it's your guides want you to learn how the moon cycles impact your sleep. And they are going to help bring in this paradigm shift in your sleep as a gift to help you gain this awareness of what things no longer serve you. And we overcomplicate that. Like, we overcomplicate that so much. And we overcomplicate that because at some point in the past, we were told that if we don't do this, 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 and this, or if we don't have this, this, and this, we won't be X, Y, and Z. There's something that happened in the past that has had you holding on to things that you shouldn't be holding on to. And your guides want you to think about how to let go of these things and realize how menial they really are. It's kind of like, I used to be really like, well, I have to keep this shirt from like 20 years ago because I can still wear it. Does it match who I am now? No. Is it something that I enjoy wearing and do like wear outside of the house? No. But I would still hold on to it because when I was a kid growing up, I never knew whether I was going to get new clothes or not. There was a time in my life where I stopped being provided for and it fell to my shoulders to take care of myself as a teenager. And it was hard for me. And so does keeping all of these things around me really serve my highest good? No. And when you get restful sleep and you wake up, it becomes a lot easier to let those things go. And when you get restful sleep, after you think about the things that you're thankful for at that moment in time, it's like you open that door to your guides, and they want you to know that they are coming in to help take away the confusion, the cloudiness, the fear, the difficulties internally, so that you understand and you know your own strength, the strength in the choices you've made, the strength in the healing that you've done, and the strength in recognizing how your own physical sleep cycles work so that you don't get caught up in this monkey mind challenge aspect anymore. So, okay, pile 2. Even though I know that my own like home life kind of was a little chaotic during your reading, I actually feel like some of the messages kind of popped around a little bit. So let me know how this flowed for you. Yeah, just let me know. All right. I want to say thank you so much, Pile 2, for being here. I want to say thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connections between our energies so that these messages could be brought forth. And I want to say thank you so much to Spirit for the inspiration behind this reading, for helping bring these gifts into the collective. Thank you so much. All right. Pile 2, if this resonated, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I want you guys to know I am doing a collaboration this Friday, I believe it is. Yeah, Friday, the 23rd, with Odessa Mall and Damselflies. And everyone who likes and comments on all 3 videos will be entered into a drawing to win a free 15-minute reading with me. And anyone who subscribes to all 3 channels will be given an additional entry. So make sure you guys check that out and get entered into a free drawing from me. I would love to do a reading for you. So down in the description box, guys, there's also links to donate to my channel, to book a personal reading, and links to my author page, as well as my Rising Sign Messages second channel. And I would love for you guys to check those links out, as well as let me know in the comment section below how this resonated, how you guys are doing, or just say I'm ready for a paradigm shift. Bring it on. All right, pile 2. I love you guys. Thank you again for being here. And I will see you at my next reading. Bye. All right. Hello, pile 3. If you chose Cultivate Courage, this is your message about what your guides want to gift you. So you also chose the card 26 with Full Spectrum. Now with Cultivate Courage and Full Spectrum combined, the number one thing that I'm getting from your guides is that they want you to have the courage to be all of who you are. It's understanding that we are all made of darkness, of light, of good, of bad, of beauty and brains and brawn and things that we wouldn't normally think were beautiful. Like, we have so many different facets of who we are. And in this world that we live in, we can find ourselves falling into this thing about stories. You know, it's like we fall into this pattern or this mindset of the stories told become the truths. And it's about realizing which story you're telling yourself. This Full Spectrum card talks about releasing yourself from any kind of judgmental behavior and seeing the beauty in every form that you take. She has these wings that remind me of dragonflies, and dragonflies are not necessarily seen as the most beautiful creature ever. I think in the spiritual community, we're taught about the power and the divinity of dragonflies, the fact that they are so ancient. But if you think about when you were a kid, like, it's this really long, buzzy thing that, you know, flies around and bugs you and lands on things. Like, you don't necessarily look at it and see it in the eyes of spiritual awareness. And even if you think about, put yourself 3, 4, 5 years prior to spiritually awakening, prior to that moment in your life when you realized there was more to the things that we look at in the physical world than just what the eyes perceive. When you looked at a bug, what did you think? Whether it was a dragonfly or a bee or even something like a box elder bug or, you know, a June bug. When you looked at those things, what did you see? For me, like with June bugs, I was terrified of them. They looked like tiny little fat cockroaches. I never knew prior to allowing my mind to expand and my perspective to shift to a state that was more aligned with who I truly am rather than what the world tells me to believe. I never knew that they were part of the scarab beetle family. I never knew that I was in the presence of essentially a descendant of ancient scarab beetles that are very, very highly respected in Egypt. Your guides want you to realize that what they're trying to bring in for you, and I say trying to bring in because it requires you to be open to receiving this gift. They are trying to bring in the courage within you and the support around you to release all the judgments of who you used to be, of that person that did not see things the way that you see things now, of the person who was not aware of what chakras were and alignment was and spirit was. To stop holding yourself to a standard of, I have to make amends for this way of being that I used to have when it's not who you are anymore. To stop judging yourself and allow yourself to see that in the moments where you were going through the thickest of swamps and mud and darkness and the hardest parts of your life where you weren't your best self, you were going through that evolution just the same as every creature who is known to have gone through millions and millions of years on this planet has had to go through different stages of evolution and growth. You are still going through that. We are all still going through that at every point in our lives. And your guides want to bring you this gift of awareness that you can be courageous, that you can forgive yourself, that you can release all judgments about yourself and who you are and who you have been and what you're capable of that is shrouded in the past and the limitations, and to really see that the nature of courage is just about stepping into the full spectrum of who you are, from the muddy feet all the way up to the crown that shines bright. Every part of that, every part of you is here to be 100% true to you and shine 100% true to you. Your guides are here to help you with gifting you with this awareness of how loved and accepted and respected you are by them, so that you can move courageously forward into the next phase in your life. This is very beautiful. So we're going to move on to these empowering questions. And they're questions, these weren't actually cards that I had intended on pulling during this reading, but as I was getting prepared to start filming for pile 1, they kind of popped out at me from my shelf, and I I vacillated a bit. And it was this assurance of, no, this is going to help empower you moving forward. This is, again, meant to be seen as a gift from your guides. These empowering questions, they want you to be a little bit more open about it with them and trust them, because they have seen you through everything. Whether you realize they were there or not, they have been there with you through everything. So they want you to see yourself more in the light that they see you in. So let's get a look. How have I become me? What am I like? This is that evolution energy that I was picking up. So they want you to really take a review moment. In order to cultivate courage, we have to see where we've been and how far we've come, to see how much courage and bravery and determination and strength and resolve and healing that we have really done, so we can move forward in this point of strength within ourselves, knowing as you do this review, you see all the points in your life that have defined who you've become. Who have you become, and how did you become this person? What are you like now? Let's look at the full spectrum of who you are and see the truth. Your guides want you, again, this is that energy of your guides want you to see yourself as they see you, because they see you as this incredible, beautiful, soft, gentle warrior. And it seems so oxymoronic to say that, but that's what is coming through. They see you as like this light warrior, where you don't fight, you love. Where you don't cower, you shine. They see you as this beacon of hope and truth and faith and belief and all things that signify the fullness of the growth of the human soul in one lifetime, from the depths of despair all the way to the absolute purity and innocence of a soul, of a child, of light. They see you from all of it, through all of it, and as all of it. And then we have, what is my life like when it is in balance? And this is something that speaks again to these chakras. The full spectrum of life involves knowing that not everything is always going to be balanced out. But when we look at the parts of our life, when it's balanced out, how do you feel? What is going on? For me personally, I know I can tell you when my life is in balance, I am in a creative flow. My business is doing well. My kids are happy. My house is clean. My husband and I are very, very happy. And I don't overstress. More than anything, I don't doubt who I am. I I work on myself, but I do it in a way that it isn't begrudging and it isn't me like having to, pull teeth to do this. I do this in a state of excitement because I want to get to know different parts of myself. Balance for everyone is a completely subjective opinion for what it looks like. It is incredibly, is subjective the right word? I think subjective is the right word. You know what? Let's Google it. I do this sometimes. Yeah, subjective is the right word. It's based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. So a balanced life is an incredibly subjective opinion, viewpoint. There's the word. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guys. It's a completely subjective viewpoint. They're asking you to look at what it feels like when your life is in balance. Not what I say balanced life is, not what anybody else says, but your life in particular. Your view on a balanced life could be dramatically different from mine. You could view a balanced life as, a life where you get to sleep for 12 hours a day because you are more productive in the 12 hours that you're awake if you sleep for those 12 hours. And so a balanced life could be spending half the day sleeping and half the day awake in a much more productive energy, productive state, and, balanced and equal. That could be your view of a balanced life versus mine, where I would prefer having 18 to 20 hours of very high production and minimal sleep. No offense, to anybody who loves sleep. I go through my phases where all I want to do is sleep. But, and I was over exaggerating, but I want you guys to understand what your guides are trying to help you see is that with this, the full spectrum card especially talks about releasing the opinions, the judgments, the beliefs, and the viewpoints of others, releasing the duality and the polarity that others tell you have to live your life based off of, and seeing that the full spectrum of this life is beautiful in every facet, every way, shape, and form. That means that when you are being asked to think about things in a very subjective way, it gives you a chance to cultivate more courage in being yourself and being true to you and embracing your individuality and your uniqueness on this journey. Because the more of us who do that, the more we bring all the pieces of that full spectrum into the collective itself. Your guides want you to realize how important you are in the totality of everything as well. This is another gift that they're bringing in. They really want to just shower you guys with gifts, but it starts with you believing in yourself. And they are really, really helping you right now to release all the judgments that have ever held you back, so that you can see that as you release these things, what you're actually doing is cultivating courage. And they're there with you, helping you. This review, looking back and then looking at everything around you, it's becoming an observer, becoming, it's like taking the eagle's eye view of your life and going, oh, that piece and that piece. Oh my gosh, this piece and that piece. Look how hard I was on myself during that. But look how I overcame it. Wow, both aspects of myself are beautiful, amazing, incredible. As you do that, you start believing in yourself more and more and more. You cultivate that courage more and more and more. And this is something they're really, really seeking to help you with. They want you to master what it means to you to be courageous. So they stop throwing this word around. It's so funny. You guys are my regulars where courage comes up. So I love that. And if you're new, don't take offense to that. I get the feeling that there's a lot of guides here who this word has been repetitive within the collective. So let's take a look at the Celtic goddesses. We have 51, Nair with Goddess of Modesty. I can't help but giggle because her name is Nair, and I think of Nair like the hair removal lotion, and I'm like, that's not about modesty. I love the way they played that off, though. That's beautiful. All right. And then we have 23 in Guinevere with the Goddess of Marriage. Okay. All right. With this Goddess of Marriage, I am actually not getting like husband and wife. I'm actually getting like the marriage of the masculine and the feminine, the marriage of you now with the marriage of you before, and almost like this divine union energy. It's realizing that the concept of marriage is it's the coming together of two people saying vows and committing to growth and harmony and balance together. And with modesty and marriage here, this is talking about, okay, this is talking about you kind of coming out of your shell a little bit more, and utilizing the wisdom that you have and the beauty that you have. When we're talking, okay, I'm going to just channel from your guides. They said, when we're talking about courage, when we're talking to you about courage on a regular basis, we're talking about the marriage, the commitment that you have made to your heart, to your soul. We're talking about how you view yourself in terms of being courageous, or do you hold yourself back in a state of modesty because you are told that this is how you have to be, that you have to hold this back and whatever. And now I'm looking at these two figures on the cards, and I mean no offense by this, but they are two very polar opposites, you know, skin color, hair color, but both in their own way are incredibly beautiful. It's understanding how you don't have to be modest about the things that you have overcome. You don't have to be modest and hold yourself back. I almost feel like I'm walking on eggshells with this modesty energy here. And your guides don't want you to do that. They want you to look at Guinevere and see the ways in which she actually holds that pomegranate. And you know, the pomegranate is that representation of wisdom from the High Priestess card. But the pomegranate is also representative of Persephone, because Persephone was in some myths, Persephone was tricked into eating a pomegranate seed, so she would have to stay in the underworld with Hades. I don't believe that. I think that me personally, and maybe this is the romantic in me, but when I was touching into that energy, I actually saw another vision of Persephone actually falling in love with Hades, because Hades is woefully misunderstood in the world. And Persephone, as soft and wonderful and loving as she is, really did fall for Hades. And so she chose to stay with him. She chose to carry the wisdom of what it meant to be the queen of the underworld. So she ate the pomegranate seed willingly. And we, as human beings, vilify the darkness. We vilify what we don't know. But this is about not vilifying it. It's about respecting it, loving it, nurturing it. So when we think about modesty, a lot of the times, and this is to my gender identified female audience, a lot of the times we're taught that we have to be very modest about our bodies. We have to be very modest about our voice. We can't be too loud. We can't be too boisterous. We can't be too outspoken. We can't do this. We can't do that. We have to be modest. We have to be this. We have to be that. And we're taught this. And especially in the realm of marriage, we're taught this. And I know that this sounds like, oh my God, that's like from the 1950s. And it may be, but in a big way, even growing up in the 90s, like I'm an 80s baby. So a lot of my schooling was in the 90s and early 2000s. And even then, there was still a lot of stories that were told and lessons in church, in school, about the role of the woman, the role of the wife, of the mother. And it's about learning how to be courageous in coming forth and not being the way that society says you should be. Your guides want you to kind of break some boundaries, break some barriers. And that I am trying to be very careful because I want to be very respectful of different races and ethnicities and cultural beliefs. I want to be very respectful of that, but it's also my job here as a channel to bring forth these messages. And I would not feel this message if it were not something that I feel like your guides have said to you before, that it's okay for you to free yourself a bit, to embrace the fullness of who you are and how you are. A lot of the times we hear about Guinevere and people thought Guinevere was, kind of like, forgive my language, but slutty, because King Arthur and Lancelot both loved her, and it was just this like messy little thing. But this is about realizing the nature of true love, and love that people might not understand. I mean, you look at her, she's surrounded by golden apples, and golden apples traditionally are the representation of immortality, and she doesn't care. She wants wisdom. She wants to know. She wants to be wise. It's not about trapping one's beauty in a point in time. It's about the wisdom of the beauty of all things, and being courageous in who you are instead of holding yourself back because someone has taught you that you have to be quieter or you have to be more modest. It's about allowing yourself to come forward and to shine your light out in all of its glory, no matter what anybody else says. So let's see your fortune oracle. We have the card 4 with birth. Universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. I gotta say, as some of you are getting into relationships or in new relationships, this is an energy about becoming a mother. I have to say that, just because we've got the marriage and we've got birth here. However, that is not the case for everyone. This is a lot of energy about realizing the nature of birth, marriage in a different context of what society says it is. It's about bringing together two things that were seeming opposites. It's like bringing together modesty and marriage into one and giving birth to something brand new. You, in a big way, are being birthed anew here. And so your life may start being filled with possibility when you cultivate this courage to see all aspects of everything within your life and within your being and everywhere that you have been and how you have become who you are and what your life looks like. It's like you're being birthed anew, and so your life is going to be birthed anew, and your guides want to bring you this gift of awareness, this gift of understanding, gift of acceptance. Oh, when I said that, there was a heaviness to that. Because marriage isn't, prevalent enough. We've got the 4 of Wands and the Chariot and the Hermit. I believe there's one more. Again, we've got this notion of light and dark. There you are. Okay. The Page of Pentacles. All right. So what I'm getting from these here is one thing that your guides want you to know is that they are bringing to you all of the bits and pieces of yourself, the pieces that make up the full spectrum of who you are, whether these are past life memories, current life memories that feel like a past life, all of it. They're bringing it all together so that you can have a marriage of self, a union of self, a new beginning of self moving forward, so that you can pull in all these pieces of who you are and what you're made of and what you contain within you, this wisdom, this knowledge, this beauty, this awareness, and you can move courageously, because the Chariot is always, to me, very courageous. You can move courageously into this way of shining your light out into the darkness, into the night sky, showing the world who you are, and really starting to build something that feels very brand new. This Page of Pentacles in the birth card has this like it's kind of like a baby energy, but I don't mean like physical baby. Could be, but I'm not picking that up a lot. It's more like a birth of a new idea. I wanted to say a new identity as well. So it might be the birth of something new, of a new you, a new way forward. It's this understanding that as you cultivate courage and you bring all these pieces of yourself together and really stand in the fullness of who you are and celebrate everything that you've been through, you're going to be moving forward in this celebratory energy, in this victorious energy. And you know yourself and you know your worth. And any moment where you are asked to go back within and look, you're going to discover more pieces of the puzzle. But it's going to move you into this state of kind of inspirational creation, inspirational awareness. And you're going to be moving forward. Your guides are telling me that you're going to be moving forward into a phase in which the moments to come will begin to be the more defining moments than the moments in the past. So it's important to respect, to honor, and to cherish those moments in the past and then let them go so that you can usher in these new moments of definition. Wow. I didn't expect this to be quite so intangible in nature, but this is a very beautiful message. And pile 3, I want to tell you, I am truly honored to bring these messages forth for you. These were very incredible. All right. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connections between our energies. And I want to say thank you so much to Spirit. Spirit, this is such an inspirational moment and idea and reading topic. And I just am very, very honored that I was able to be the one to bring it forward in this way. And I want to say thank you so much for always working with me. All right, pile 3, if this resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming readings. Check out the description box. You're going to find links to donate to my channel, to book a personal reading, to my author page on Amazon, as well as a link to my second channel, Rising Sign Messages. So make sure you go and check that out and subscribe to my second channel as well. I also wanted to make sure you guys were aware, in case you skipped the introduction, that on the 23rd, or this Friday, actually tomorrow, I will be doing a collaborative reading with Odessimal and Damselflies. And everyone who likes and comments on all of the videos will be entered into a drawing for a free 15-minute reading from me. And everyone who subscribes to all 3 channels will get a bonus entry into the free reading drawing. So make sure you guys check that reading out. And yeah. All right, pile 3, let me know in the comment section below how this resonated. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for being on my channel, and I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, pile 4. If you chose the self-reflect die, this is your message about what gift your guides have for you. So I did want to open with saying my apologies if you guys can hear any background noise. We just got home from picking Cooper up from his weekend visitation with his father, and so it's always kind of hectic and chaotic, but I wanted to be able to do turn down nighttime stuff with him. So I wanted to finish this reading for you guys. So we've got this self-reflect card along with the awakened awareness. And the awakened awareness talks about that awakening process we go through, about becoming self-aware of the matrix. That's just kind of the tip of the iceberg, but of the ways in which we have constructed our reality based upon certain social mores and certain belief systems and traditions and ways of being, that at some point we awaken and we see it for the reality that it is, which is the reality is literally that we have been living a fallacy. And your guides want to talk to you about the level of self-reflection that you've actually done in your life. And I'm hearing crash course. So some of you, you guys sound like me. Some of you may have literally felt like you have gotten a crash course in spirituality in your life. As in, all of a sudden, one day you went from being asleep to being awake. Now, there are a select few in this group that I do want to address before we move into the crash course energy. For some of you, you have gone on a journey that does not look like other people's, and that may have been something that has made you feel really kind of outside of the spirituality community as a whole. This is an energy that I'm familiar with because I experience this energy myself. And the Awakened Awareness card actually talks about how sometimes you awaken and then you do go back to sleep. And I don't think a lot of people talk enough about that, about the fact that you can go through a Kundalini awakening and then you can go directly back into a kind of sleep mode, but you can never undo the Kundalini awakening. You can never undo that initial awakening. And it may have, it's like 35% of you went into this phase of you awoke, you went back to sleep, and it was through something in your life, and it's going to be different for everyone, through something in your life that more recently you have found yourself coming into a state of self-reflection. Now, I know this is about what your guides are giving you as a gift, essentially, but they want to talk about this first. And your guys' pile is the only one where the lead-in energy, the self-reflect, and the card energy has nothing to do with the gift. It has to do with what they want to talk about to set up the other cards. So for those of you who had an awakening and then found yourself back in a sort of sleep state, this is something that I experienced in my life. I had a Kundalini awakening back in 2011. And for the next 9 years of my life, well, let's see, I started purging in 2019. So the next 8 years of my life, I went through closing off everything that had happened the summer that I had my Kundalini awakening, blocking it out, ignoring it, pushing it away, not allowing myself to look at the memories, not allowing myself to reflect upon what happened, not allowing myself to even become like a tiny bit open to what had happened. That summer, I interacted with the notion of star seeds for the first time, with the notion of being awakened for the first time, with mediumship for the first time, with channeling, with being a psychic. Literally that summer, I looked up everything that I have had to spend the last 4 years of my life studying and working on and working through, because I allowed myself to shut it down. Now, it doesn't mean that you're weak. In fact, it takes an incredibly strong will and soul to go through a Kundalini awakening and then go into sleep mode again. And it may not seem that way, but your guides are asking you to really reflect on how it feels to hit a point of no return and whether you think that you could actually put yourself back to sleep. Because I'm hearing, I bet you could. And it's that energy, that strength that actually indicates the level of gifted and enlightened and powerful that your soul is. For others of you who have gone on a crash course, that message is actually your message as well. This is kind of an amalgam pile of two very extremes in the spiritual awakening process. And your guides want to talk about that because that's part of your gift. Part of your gift is the fact that you have had such unusual awakenings, and they have all been kickstarted in one way. Every single one of them have been started in one particular way. So each and every one of you have actually been the reason why you awoke, because you self-reflected and then you became awakened. It was not the other way around. It wasn't like your Kundalini energy suddenly burst open in your body and then you saw the world differently. No, you were looking at the world and you were like, this doesn't make sense. I don't like this. I can't understand this. And you started self-reflecting. You went internal and you essentially internally triggered an awakening within yourself because of going through the self-reflection. This is not something that is for the faint of souls. We say not for the faint of hearts. This is not for the faint of souls. This is not something that most souls will go through. Most of them will find themselves self-reflecting after going through an awakening. They will find themselves reflecting on different things in their life and how they remember being very open as a child. And then they let the world kind of temper them or tamp down on who they really are. And then they start awakening and seeing all these things because their life has unraveled. And once they awaken and see all these things, then they start reflecting on everything. You, on the other hand, went, this doesn't make sense to me, so I'm going to look internally. And as soon as you looked internally, that's when you started seeing the world different. It's kind of like you guys did things a little bit backwards. And it does. Yes, it makes you unique. No, it doesn't mean that you are backwards or broken. It makes you a very perceptive soul, a very enlightened soul. And you have a very unique gift for the soul, in your soul, and for the world. But your guides want to give you something because they're actually incredibly proud of you. This is not a message I've ever gotten, so I want you guys to bear with me. But what I'm getting is that there's a phrasing that I use. It's a crapshoot. And I think that this phrasing has to do with like throwing craps. I'm not really sure. But the meaning of it is it's like it's a luck of the die. It's you know, you're casting lots. It's hit or miss. I just keep getting all these metaphors and analogies. It's essentially the souls that have contracted to come down here to do an awakening process in the way that you have contracted to do your awakening process. Your guides knew that it was like maybe it's going to work, maybe it won't. You know, like it would be great because this time frame in humanity's journey really needs people with this different perspective, but they knew the strength it was going to take for you to do it this way. And so it's kind of like we all contracted to come down here and to help you guys to do this, but we knew what it would take. And we know the power of the ego. We know the power of the mind. We know about the power of the tricks that are in this plane of existence. And so we know that it could be a life that never comes to fruition. And each and every one of you being here at this reading means that it's coming to fruition. And they are beyond thrilled. Like I can't tell you guys how proud they are of you for doing this, because this journey that your souls chose in the realm of awakening, it was like, it feels like an experiment. It feels like a spiritual experiment, like a group of souls got together and was like, how might we make this more interesting for us when we go down there? It's like you guys are like the high level souls that everybody talks about, but you just were like, I want a bigger challenge. It's like the video games on like expert mode where everybody's like, this is too hard, and you guys are speed running it. You wanted something harder than expert mode in this lifetime. And your guides are really, really genuinely acknowledging the fact that you guys are beating harder than expert mode. So that is your first message, which was very unexpected, very profound. And I'm incredibly impressed and like honored to be reading your energy. So I'm going to look at these empowering questions for you guys. We're going to take a look at these. Your guides just wanted to bring some things in. And for you guys in particular with this self-reflect, they just wanted to give you guys something new, some new addition to look at. It may be that you guys have looked at this in a different way and they want to help you, but these questions are meant to help you feel more empowered. It's part of the gift that they are giving you. So first we have, how or in what way do I experience myself when I'm alone? You may have been drawn to another pile. I feel a little bit with that, but not a lot. So you may have been drawn to another pile. If you were, by all means, go check it out. There's like a small group of guides that are like, yeah, you can claim both. It's fine. But this is, I wasn't going to divine these. And then I want to say, I can't remember how many piles. I didn't divine all of them, but what I'm getting from this is you in particular, pile 4, experience yourself and your gifts on a heightened level. You have that energy and that awareness of how ancient your soul is, how powerful your gifts are. And when you're alone, you actually don't exist in a state of fear. When you're alone, you don't fight your gifts. When you're alone, it's like you allow yourself to experience the fullness of the soul that you carry. And your guides want you to make some notes that have to do with the physicality of it, the mentality of it, and how you can start bridging that into your interactions with the outside world. It's like I'm hearing, I'm coming up. I'm coming up. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I don't remember who sings that, but that's what I'm hearing from your guides. That's what they want. They want you to start coming forward with your gifts. And then we have, what are those things that make me feel good while I'm doing them? And this is why. Because it's time for you to look into some sort of passion. When I see this red, I don't actually feel like the root chakra like I normally do with red. I actually feel a lot of passion energy. I always associate that energy with like Mars energy. Mars is very passionate, very bold, very daring and charismatic and ready to go take on the world. That's what I feel from this question. And now I understand, because they want you to kind of bridge these things together. And I'm still hearing the song. So if you guys know what song that is, please let me know down in the comments. I would really appreciate that. All right, so let's get a message from the Celtic goddesses. Yeah, you definitely may have been drawn to another pile. We have the card 34 with Dindrain and Goddess of Generosity. And I love how these match together. But I also love that gold of the wheat. And I mentioned loving that color before. Okay, I understand what this is. Let's find out what this one is. Yes, 3, Ellen, or Ellen of the Ways, and the Goddess of Decisions. So this energy here, your guides are saying that the choice is in your hands. The direction that you take and the ways in which you move into the world is in your hands. You've been a very generous person already. You've really been giving to others. Your guides want you to think about the times in which you have given to others, the times in which you have given to yourself, and whether you can actually bridge those two together. I hope that makes sense, but that's really what I'm hearing. When it comes to Ellen of the Ways, what I'm getting from this energy in particular is it's okay for you to choose a path that doesn't exist in front of you. You know, you can see there's a path here and there's a path here behind her, and she's got this dog with her and a torch. And so the dog is more like a protector for her. And the wind is blowing, but the fire is lit. The wind is not blowing the fire out. It's learning that you have the power of decisions. Now, if you think about the fact that we opened this with talking about how some of you actually had the power to decide to put yourself back to sleep. And your guides actually posited a scenario in which they asked you whether you thought that you could put yourself back to sleep right now. And they believe that you could. It's about the decisions that you're making, and the decisions that you have made that have brought you here, that have awakened and awoken yourself internally, that have brought you into a state of enlightenment, that have awoken gifts within you. All of that started because you chose to self-reflect on your life and what your role in all of this was. It's about that mastery within your own life. This is a very, very, like, if I were to equate it with the physical world, you would be kings and queens. You would be, leaders of masses and masses of people. On a soul level, that's who you are. you guys have learned so much based off of personal decisions that you have made. And your guides are letting you know that you have the power of decisions. They're giving you this awareness, this understanding that you get to decide because you've been so generous with yourself and with your gifts, because you've been so dedicated, so diligent. It's like they want to give you the world because you guys are like my hummingbird pile. You break the bounds, you break limitations and the odds. Like the odds don't mean anything to you at all. So let's get this last one. We have the card 26 with plain. A journey is indicated. Either physically or metaphorically, your life will become more full. And we have two numbers that reduce down to 8 here. So this is talking a lot about your physical world changing. And with plain, I can't help but think about my trip to Florida this summer and how when I went down to Florida, it kind of felt like this YouTube channel was falling apart. I just felt kind of lost in the woods. And I had realized that my life had taken a decidedly unchosen turn for me. I wasn't really sure what was going on, but I went down there and the entire trip, I was doing psychic readings. I was tapping into parts of myself that I wasn't aware of. And the reason why I was able to do that is because I was outside of the environment where I had grown up. I was outside of the environment where all of my constructs and my conditioning had occurred. And once I got outside of that area and I was in an area where I was around people who just genuinely believed me and trusted me and, not just admired, but like respected my gifts, they really came out so much more. So it may be for you that a journey like this is coming up in your life, but it may be that this is more about the journey that you're on right now. This soul journey that you're on is about to take a turn. It's about to shift for you in a really beautiful way. I'm actually it's really beautiful. With the 8s coming up here, we have 3, 7, and then 2 8s. So 3 is about creativity. 3 is like the Empress energy. It's about fertility. It's about creation. With it being Ellen of the Ways and the Goddess of Decisions, this is about the decisions that you have made creatively, psychically, intuitively, the decisions that you have made to build something in this world, in this physical world, to come together with others, to essentially even just the decision to come here and watch this reading. It's a building energy. And the 7 energy is about that spiritual seeking energy. And 3s and 7s are common on my channel. We see this a lot. But this is about that spiritual awareness, that knowledge seeker, that knowledge and wisdom seeker. 7s are kind of an enigma energy. I'm a life path 7 and a soul urge 7. Or I think those are the same thing. It's like destiny number 7. Like my core numbers are 7 and 11 for me. So it is the 7 energy for me is an incredibly powerful number. And it has made me want to know more all the time. I don't like to accept things as people say they are. I need to know more. And it's something that's just innate within myself. It's just something that drives me there. The reason why is because I want to see a world that is filled with people who are genuinely generous with each other. Now, the reason why I mention this is because we've got these 2 and then 2 8s. And the 2 8s energy are really about the material world. It's about finding your place within this world, finding your tribe, your home, the gift and the magic that you're here to share with the world, and moving with this kind of, with the Fool energy. Once you make the decision of where you want to go and the path that you want to forge, you take this Fool's journey. Yeah, Ace of Wands. It's finding new inspiration, finding that new spark. And with this plain energy, that's what your guides want you to know. They're ready for you to have this new spark, and they are bringing this gift of a new kind of energy and inspiration, a new awareness of what you can create. You've done so much for so many. You really have. Oh, this one wanted to be out here. Yeah, Knight of Cups. And again, the Knight of Cups for me is not like a romancer or relationship energy. I never read it that way. It's always about passion. And I was picking that up here. Your guides are literally like, we're going to help bring in this decision, this inspiration that's based off of the passions of your heart and your soul. Your emotional passions and awarenesses are going to give you that spark for a new path forward. Again, I'm getting the torch energy with the Ace of Wands and the decisions. This is about choosing you. You've chosen so many other people so many times. Yeah, Judgment. So many people, so many other times. And now you're choosing yourself. You've heard that judgment call for yourself. And when that judgment call goes out and you hear it and you go with it, that is the point of no return. And it's not a bad thing. It's literally like you're going through a doorway. You've got a Sphinx moth here. I know it doesn't really tell you what kind of moth, but it looks like a Sphinx moth to me, which are incredibly rare. And then we've got the Page of Swords. So this is telling me that there is going to be a lot of clarity coming in for you. It's like when I look at this Page of Swords, I always think about the Two of Swords and how she usually has the swords crossed on the card. Your guides are bringing you clarity. They're bringing you awareness. They're bringing you inspiration. They're bringing you a journey that is going to, it's going to make you feel less heavy. It's going to make you feel more alive, more aware, more grounded, more peaceful, but also as though you're finally seeking that creative endeavor that you have been looking for. You know, when you did that self-reflection thing, what I'm getting here is that when you did that self-reflection thing, you did it because you needed some sort of inspiration to keep going in your life. And what you found was a mess of realizations and revelations and healing and unraveling more, and then more realizations and more revelations and more healing. You found that, that ball of yarn that got all twisted and that you had to unravel in order to actually be able to make something with it. You have unraveled the ball of yarn. It is now completely done, and you're reforming it into a skein of yarn so that you can create something with it of use, of passion that you want. It's like you have done everything that you were meant to do on the healing path for this part of your journey. And now it's time for you to have fun, to open up and to have fun, to find your gift and to share it with the world in the way that you want. So the gift that I'm seeing is quite literally fun. It's fun. It's clarity. It's peace. It's prosperity. It's inspiration and passion, and living this life while you're out with others instead of having to always be pulled by yourself. Like your guides are like, it's time to open the doors. I'm literally getting like from Frozen when it's time to open the gates. That's the energy I'm getting here. Your guides are opening the gates for you. You guys have been on a trap behind the gates. This is changing for you now. So pile 4, this is all I'm seeing for you guys. This is amazing. I'm in awe of you guys. I'm just truly in awe. I do want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everything that you have done on your journey. Thank you. Just genuinely thank you, pile 4. I want to say thank you to your guides and mine for facilitating the connection between our energies. And thank you so much to Spirit. Spirit, I am always so honored to be your human filter for the messages here in the world, to be the bridge between the spiritual realm and the physical realm, and bring these messages forth so that the collective can be uplifted and keep going with this journey. I'm just really thankful. Thank you, Spirit. All right, Pile 4, if this resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming readings. In the description box below, you're going to find links to donate to my channel, to book a personal reading, to my author page on Amazon, and to my second channel, Rising Sign Messages. Make sure you guys go check out Rising Sign Messages. It's flowing with the moon so that you guys have a better hold of your emotions and your soul and your destiny here in this life. And it's great to be aware of the energies and really work with them instead of against them. So go check that out and make sure that you guys subscribe to that. I did want to remind you guys that I am doing a collaboration tomorrow. It comes out with Odessa Mall and Damselflies. And everybody who likes and comments on all 3 videos will be entered into a drawing to win a free 15-minute reading from me. And if you subscribe to the channels, to all 3 channels, or to however many channels you aren't currently subscribed to, you will be given a bonus entry into that drawing. So that is this week's giveaway. The details are also on my community tab. So, all right, you guys, I love you. Let me know in the comment section below how this resonated. And if you know the name of that song, I would love to know because it's going to bug me. All right. I love you, Pile 4. I will see you at my next reading. Bye.